Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It's time for Friday night on the Homestead, and tonight's topic is one some of the guys may not be thrilled about, but hey, knitting and quilting for warmth. And how's everybody doing out there? Now, let's go over here, and I see people looks like people are still rolling in, so let me go up here and we will welcome everybody in properly. So we have Walt Rogers, Phelan Clan Wolf, Mother Earth Garden Club, Creative Redundancy, or CR for short, Moon Over Miami, Tibor's in the house. Make sure I don't miss anybody as I go speeding down here. It's the Marshmallow Man, Geeky Gardens, Diana 2, Suzanne Galley, Kaylin Strain. And I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Okay, so tonight's is a jump back in time to my youth, and I mean my single-digit youth and my teens. Tammy Harder just came in. My grandmother used to make all sorts of things knitting. She'd make Afghans like this thing behind me here. She'd make all sorts of other fun things as well. Wayne Hunter's in the house. And she had some quilts and stuff that as kids we'd sleep under that were made by her mom. And when my grandmother was little, and just to keep it in perspective, my grandmother was born in 1899. And, so these things have been around for a long time. But my grandmother, when she retired as a real estate agent, I would say, early mid 70s. She had a rocking chair in the living room, had a hanging light that that you raise and lower above her, and she'd sit there watching her TV, and she'd be knitting most of the time. And she taught all my brothers and sisters and me and my cousins how to crochet. She taught some of my female cousins how to knit. Angel's Homestead, hey, welcome. Little Lone Prepper, welcome. And so, there was nothing quite like when it was raining outside and the wind's blowing, cuddling up on the couch watching TV in one of the Afghans. And some of the things my grandmother used to do, get it here. I'm not sure how this is going to show up. Okay, it's mainly green, but it looks kind of gray here. It's got some multicolors on it and stuff here. But she'd make sweaters for all her grandkids. And she made this one for me back when I could fit in this little thing. This is probably when I was about 6, maybe. And everything she knitted, I can get it to show here, kind of crinkled up over time. She has a little thing here that says, "From the Needles of Ethel Harper." And so I have this one here. I have the smaller one from a year or so earlier that's across the street that my grandsons have been wearing. But there are a lot of things that knitting, people just don't realize it's knitting, that you can knit and wear. Most of your cardigan sweaters are all knitted, even though they're mostly professionally knitted now with machines. The beanies, and the old-fashioned ski masks you pull over with the holes in it and stuff, those are knitted. And there's a lady here at the school that knits beanie hats for any kid that shows up without a hat at the beginning of the school year. Well, my grandsons have hats. She's knitted them for them, and they are very possessive about their hats. So they wear them to school. Once in a while, someone will lose a hat, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a new hat, and that she makes, and she, that's what this lady does. She knits hats for all the kids' school. So, yeah. Yeah, I was going to bring mine into my wool gloves are knitted, machine knitted, but you look at them and it's like, yeah, my grandmother could make this. Yeah, well, neither my mom or my grandmother was much into quilting. However, the staff sergeant is very much into quilting. So let me get over here for a second here and look at some things here. Now here's some quilts being shown off by some ladies that of a pattern they did, sewing everything together. And looking at this, it's rather haphazard, but if you look at it, there are repeating patterns in here of the blocks with the strips and the blocks shifting for different blocks. Now this is another one where they make the blocks and then put the big borders around it. My wife has done several of those, and I forgot to bring it in here. And of course, quilts on beds are a big thing. We got several that my wife made that we have on our beds. Exactly, organized chaos. And I think this next one is getting into something my wife is working on right now. Yes. Out. And she's making a Christmas tree quilt. All right, so she's got the one part here done. And this is one of the things she's working on the other stuff. And she's putting together the train car. She has two of the coaches made, but she's just laying them out, and she's going to work on sewing them together and then sewing them into the blocks. She actually has a blue train made as well up here, and she has this other train here made as well already. And so she's making a bunch of trains to go around it. And some of the trains are just going to be banners that she can clip on and off the bottom to change up what it looks like. And it's basically going to be a wall hanging one. And if she gets enough done, she may make more than one wall hanging one and put the trains on different ones and hang the one up in the boys' playroom here. And of course, there's all sorts of things you can knit with, all sorts of cool things. It looks like this one here is making a beanie out of this one here, like that. And they do have all sorts of machines for home use that you can knit at home with instead of just sitting and do it when you're trying to do something big and you really want to do it. And of course, there's the one that was on the that's here behind me. All right, now I want to show you something else that I got my daughter one of. Let me get over here and bring it up here. See if it'll show up here. Come up. No, because it's got a funky name on it. So let me look under my wish list, because I save stuff under my wish list. Even if I get it, I try to save it, for other stuff here. Where is it? Mm-hmm. There's just a couple of them here, so I'm gonna get these opened up here. They have these neat little things that you can little forms, and you run the yarn around, and you can knit different sizes. These are great for making beanies and stuff like that. And it's got a different type of knitting needle stuff, but you run it and you tuck and do all the things on it. And so talk about the different things that you can do with them. Making hollow scarves, tube scarves, a different one. This particular one is currently unavailable, which means they sold out. Hey, it's before Christmas time. Of course, they sell out every friggin' year before Christmas time. Here's one with some bunch of rings on it and stuff for making different size things and everything else. And you can change the spacing on the pegs on these. All sorts of cool things to do with them. Making all sorts of beanies and stuff on it this way as well. Let me see if it shows that. Yeah, so you got all sorts of different ones for doing this, making all sorts of different things, and all sorts of craft things, and keep you warm and all sorts of fun stuff. All right. Hey, it's a start there, Tibor. So, yeah. My mother-in-law did some needlepoint work back when she was younger. And she did a couple quilts. I think my wife said she did a couple quilts, but she's not into that anymore. Yeah. When my wife and I got married, her side hustle was being a seamstress. She made more bridesmaids and wedding gowns in the year leading up to us getting married than I can remember. Probably for about, I would say, at least 6 different brides. She did the whole thing, sewed it all up, measured them all, sewed it up, fitted them, and got it all done. Yeah. My grandmother on my mom's side was one of 15 kids, 2 girls, 13 boys. However, my grandmother married an idiot. Yes, we call Orville an idiot because he split off on her after the second child was born. And so I just have my mom and my aunt. But my aunt had Jay, Debbie, Carrie, Roland, Laddie. Yeah, had 5 kids, and my mom had 4. So there were only 9 grandkids around, and the ages were spaced out. My sister's 10 years older than me. I got a brother 2 years younger. On my aunt's side, Jay was a year older than my sister, and Laddie, the youngest, is a year younger than my brother. So, there's an age gap where she could work with 1 or 2 at a time, and teach us how to do crocheting, how to play canasta, and things like that. But my wife does a lot of different of cutesy quilts and pattern quilts. She and her best friend every other Saturday go up to you got to cross the Benicia Bridge up to Fairfield to go to a quilting class place up there, and they teach things, and they have packages. You show up, you buy a package, and if you don't show up, you miss out on the package, and it costs you more from the remake another package for it. But to make quilts, and they do you get 5 or 6 packages to set up to do the quilt. You buy all the material, and you have to finish cutting and finish doing the laying it all out, and that's all the instruction on it. And they do all sorts of fun things like that. Tatting? Is that where on the end where they do? Is that like? Is that like a rag rug where they have the little trailing ends off after they get done doing the circle of the rag rug and run off the little things on the end of it? Let me look it up here. Yeah, I had the boys over here till a little after 5, Mike Mountain time. It's now a little after 6, so it's 6:15 here. So let's look up TATTING. It says tatting lace. Oh, okay. So this is tatting lace. And look up tattling shuttle. Okay, let me put shuttle on here. Ah, okay. So yeah, it's lace work. Yeah. Yeah. Evidently, I'm trying to remember who made it because we got a whole bunch of lace work here. It wasn't my wife's grandmother Bennett. It was grandmother Campbell that did lace work. And so she has all that stuff that her mother, I guess her mother and father were only children. So he got all the stuff from him. And Chris's mom didn't was, oh, this isn't from my mom, so I'm just going to give it to Chris, and she gave it to my wife. So that's how we wound up with that stuff. But the quilting and stuff, I mean, I've shown the room when I've been in California. It's about, it's bigger than this room here I'm in. You guys can't see this. I got a green screen right behind me. So it's about that room is probably, yeah, about 14 by 15. And that's where Chris has her all her sewing stuff and her, not all of it. That's where she has the quilting stuff all set up. Since I'm not there and the boys don't like to, the boys work different shifts and stuff. Everybody eats separately. And so the dining room table in California is her sewing table. And then she has another sewing table in the master bedroom. And so she'll make the small blocks on the sewing tables and take it out to the quilting area and do quilting there and stuff. But we have some quilts that are like, I mean, she's put like really thick batting in the quilts. And oh man, the really thick batting, you should hear her cuss. Yes, the staff sergeant comes out because it likes to slip and slide. And so basically she spends hours laying it out and then slowly rolling the top piece on, pinning it as she goes so it doesn't slip and slide. And when it does slip, she got to unpin it and roll it back and reach, do it. But that's where quilting groups come in handy, because you got like 6, 7, 8 hands out there holding things, moving it, and you can do it a lot quicker. Cool. But some of the quilts my wife has made are really thick and warm. I'm the one she took back to California because PG&E bills, Pacific Gas and Electric, are so high. She keeps the house down at between 62 and 65, so before the furnace comes on, because you wind up paying an arm and a leg in your third born. Hey Howie, how's it going? And so with the quilts and stuff, first time you get into bed, it's like, oh, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's getting warmer, it's getting warmer. Yeah. I did show her something I got on Amazon for out here. It was the 100% cotton batting, and she's using some of that and stuff she got for the kids. So guys, hang on 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right. So my wife made all 4 grandkids their own little huggy pillows. Unfortunately, the green screen is hitting the green on here. And this is all, it's everything, every little thing here is stitched together. All the little pictures are stitched together separately. And to go with that, she made double-sided quilts, little quilts. And the tracks are separate pieces she put together. And here's a separate piece. Here's a separate piece. She's got blocks of the trains and stuff. And on the other side, yeah, it's all these little blocks here of pieces here that she put together, and she's got batting in it, and cotton batting, so it's a little more sturdy, and it just covers everything up. And these things, these things are nice and warm. They're thin. I get shut. They're thin. They're not that thick, but with the cotton batting inside and the cotton material, they are really warm. And yeah, I mean, sometimes when it's really cold over here, the grandkids only need one of those to get under. And she made 4 this last winter and brought them here for the grandkids. She's made a couple Halloween ones. She's even made quilted Halloween door hangers that go up, and with like Frankenstein's monster and stuff. And she cuts out the patterns and she puts everything together and hangs it up for them. But yeah, so I almost forgot. Oh, I'm gonna pull something off my foot here. Knitted slippers. These things are warm. Your feet don't get sweaty because it's knitted and it breathes. Oh, these are my favorite slippers for just walking around in the house. And I'm trying to remember which channel made it. She made a bunch of them when Courtney White Family Farm was doing her weight loss challenge several years ago, and made slippers for everybody. Uh, I'm up for adoption. uh, but yeah, so guys, if you're bored, if you're in the winter where it snowed in and you're retired and you're bored and you don't have a hobby, guess what? Learn to knit, crochet, or quilt. I guarantee you, if you learn to quilt and you join a quilting club, all the ladies are going to be, oh, he's amazing, and their husbands will be pissed at you because you're amazing. Their husbands aren't, because their husbands aren't out quilting. uh, Kaylin, um, actually, my wife has made some double or full size quilts for the kids' twin beds. And what they do, my daughter does, is she pulls the mattress away from the wall, throws a bunch of it over there, and gets it underneath it so the kids can't pull it off when they're tossing and turning. And then the other side hangs down to the floor. Oh, yeah. One of the things here that I started to talk about, I'm going to see if I can bring something up on it here. Hang on here. Oh yeah, Joe has a lot. He has a lot of people on his show on the Sunday night, and he gives away all the yarn and crochet stuff and yeah, knitting stuff. Yeah, I'm looking. Let me look up here. Ragtide rugs. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Okay. I remember these things from my grandmother's house, my aunt's house, my grand aunt's house, and all my second cousins and stuff. These things were popular, um, still are in some circles, where they it's called ragtide. And you get the rags and everything, and it's just, the stuff is done, and it's weaved and tied together and stitched together, and you start making you can then make it round, or you can make it oblong, or you can make it square. These are generally for rugs. So if you have wooden floors, oh, these things keep those wooden floors nice and warm. But yeah, there are there's this is the thumbnail off of a YouTube channel that does tutorials on how to do it. But yeah, I mean, just what you can do with these things are just amazing with the colors and stuff, because it's all the rags and all the worn out jeans, worn out shirts, and everything else. You recycle it. So CR, this is a recycler's dream to do stuff. The different rag pieces, and they're weaving it together, so like braiding it before they do the other part on it. So yeah, there is and of course kids love playing in the rag stuff as you're doing it. But yeah, this is another thing to keep warm too, by putting on do different ones to make fluffy rags and stuff, rag rugs, to keep the floors warm as well. Now I've known some people that have made stuff like this and they hang them on the walls in older houses, because the older houses, the walls aren't that well insulated, and helps keep the heat in and the cold out. Yeah. My wife has made pot, the pot holders or the hot pads and stuff. And she's also then taken those and made something really cool. And hopefully the next time she comes, I can video her making it. She makes a hot pad, and then she folds it in half, and she takes the snack size baggie brand, because it's the right size, bags, and put it in there, and makes a little things where you put, like, you have one bag, and glues it all together and sews it up, puts a loop over the top, and a big button on it so you can seal it up. And she makes from that what she calls her pill pouch. And so she'll have antihistamine, she'll have ibuprofen, she'll have all the different little pills for, it's like a little medical pill bag. And she gave a whole bunch away, for a couple of years she was making them. And then she got more into quilting and stuff, and she hasn't done so many, but she has supplies here to do it. Just at the last couple of times she's been here, she's been so busy, she hasn't been able to do it for us. But those are really, really cool as well. But talking about the pot holders and stuff, but yeah, one of our friends had one too, and they asked us to store it, and we told them we're not sure our shop is a safe, upstairs in the loft is a safe place to store it. Sure enough, the rats got in there, made a nest in it. But by then they were getting ready to sell their house anyways, and they were downsizing, so they didn't have a place for it anyway. So they said just throw it out. All right, Tibor, take care. Rachel Knight's work is lurking. Yeah, okay. What they were doing with that, let me go back to this other picture over here and see if I can find it here real quick and I can show it to you. So they were doing something like this. Instead of using material, they were using the bags and weaving it together, and they were making the mats they were making were rag rugs from that for homeless. I've heard of several people doing that. And they were doing that as well in the San Francisco Bay Area until some of the homeless that had one of those were trying to cook above it, and they set it on fire. And he was like, okay, stop doing that. They're not being fire safe, people. Yeah. Yeah, my wife said she didn't want to take the time to make a rag rug runner for the hallway here, because she goes, when I come up here, we're pulling the carpet out of that hallway, and we're going to put hardwood down, and then we'll put some other carpet on top of it that we can just roll out of the way, vacuum all the dirt that went through up and everything else. My wife is really beginning to hate laid carpet. But anyways, I was hoping some of the ladies from the Joe's channel would show up over here and talk more about the knitting. But yeah, I said, you look at it, bring it up here again. And this here is over 60 years old. The only thing I got to do is put buttons back on it, because you can see where the buttons were. The button holes, if I get it here right, are still here. So I need to put buttons on it again, and then Danny will wear it, or Oliver will start wearing it here next year. Oh, especially when you got 4 grandsons who decide oh, I don't like it, and they try to sweep it off on the floor off the table. Oh yeah, I get on them. I'm making it get down there and pick up every little crumb before I vacuum. Well, power cleaning. Woo! Oh man. But yeah, there's like I said, and so something like this here can be put together like a quilt, sort of. You make each of the squares, and then you just go along and you crochet the squares together to make a big quilt. And that makes it a lot easier than try to knit the whole thing. You just knit the little squares and then you put it together. So this is a combination knitting, quilting, crocheting, Afghan. Woohoo! All right, Juliana. All right. Hey, Sumi. I missed it when you came in. Oh, there's where you came in. Okay. So, yeah, I knew this one was going to be short tonight, but hopefully I've enticed some of you guys to think about taking, learning how to knit. Hey, Gunslinger Outdoors is here. No. Yes, Gale Southern Living is good, and a couple of the other ones too. But yeah, think about, a hobby. This is a hobby. Now, if you're in an area like here where we can get snowed in, especially since if we go out and get all the supplies we need other than just milk now and then. Yeah, we can go, do stuff here. Of course, my hobby is writing my novels. And so, yeah, think about, whether it's crocheting small stuff, making sweaters, learning how to knit wool gloves or a wool vest, just a vest, not a sweater, just a vest to wear underneath your other jackets and stuff to help you layer and stay warm. Okay, let's see here. Just looking to see if it, which one's it's coming on here. And go ahead and drop that down. And bring this second, see which email it's coming to here. All right, because or maybe mittens, yes, mittens, socks. I'm trying to remember. A PM. So it's going to be Facebook. So let's get in there. Facebook. Okay. There we go. Sent 3 photos. All right. So let me, I'm going to do all 3 of them here. All right. So this is Juliana's, Jujubee. And so this is the one she just got done doing. Oh, that is so cool. I bet that is really cozy and warm. Yeah. Woohoo! Excellent work. Actually, my wife's the seamstress. I just help her out with cutting material and sewing little squares together when I'm with her for her to do her quilting. But yeah, my grandmother taught me how to crochet, and I made a couple of little round potholes, hot pads. But then I got busy doing other stuff, and it's like the next year, it's like, all right, how do I crochet? And I learned, and then I learned, started doing it again. And the following year, I totally forgot. All right, what channels? Garden State Gardener, when he does his Sunday night 2-hour thing, he has a lot of knitting channels on there. I can't remember all the names, but Kaylin put up the one here, which was top of my head here, Gail's Southern Living. And then there are a bunch of others. There's oh man, just you go to any of his live streams there, and they're usually showing up and stuff. But yeah, and a lot of them know each other. And, you know, they're in that network, and they're always doing stuff. All right, Tammy. Our bed, you know, which I brought up here from California. So my wife said, move it up there. Just get me a queen size for down here because you're not down here that often. And she was coming up here more than I was being down there. So anyways, it's a king size bed, pedestal, old water bed that we got a European Sleepworks mattress on. Anyways, the center section in the middle going up between the pedestals is stuffed full of blankets. My wife's hope chest over on the side is full of blankets. The one IKEA shelf cabinet, 4-foot wide cabinet, is full of blankets. Some of them my wife has made. Some of them my grandmother made or her grandmother made. Yeah, so yeah, we got lots of them. Cool. Excellent. I've seen on Facebook different groups and stuff here in southeastern Idaho that are knitting groups and quilting groups. So my mom taught all of us, my older sister and my 2 brothers, how to sew on her niche sewing machine. My brother made for my 12th birthday, made me a 3-piece suit. My older brother did. He's 3 years older. So he was 15 and he made a 3-piece suit for my 12th birthday. Yeah. And of course, back then there was a sewing merit badge for Boy Scouts. Oh. All right, folks. I can feel the tickle in my throat kicking in here a little bit. So I'm going to wrap this up here real quick. And so what's coming up here for this next week, tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday is have a side hustle to help support your family. We'll talk a little bit about this is possibly there as well. Some other things for a side hustle. Monday on Camppatton Family Compound for the Monday Fireside chat is storing and reheating containers. We're going to talk about getting away from the plastics. Tactical Tuesday is our notebooks threat. Oh, the deadly threat here. Thursday is the Midnight Ride, and next Friday on the Homestead is going to be a controversial subject. Hand out, hand up, or empty hand. Figure it out. All right. So everyone, take care, have fun. Think about getting a little hobby that can help you. All right. Take care, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepping.